So in other news worth your attention this Thursday, the Reyaga Community Project is set to give an update or get an update from a memorandum that they submitted last month to stakeholders in the Rosslyn Industrial Corridor. This comes in response, of course, to calls for inclusion from this industrial reform, for better township integration and greater transparency from these stakeholders. SABC News reporter Ofentse Setimo was watching the story and joins us now live. And the last time, Ofentse, you were in that area, there were scores of young people who had gathered there asking for jobs. And since then, we've heard companies like Coca-Cola announcing that they'd be laying off upwards of 600 people. The jobs crisis certainly in sharp focus there.
Absolutely. And if the numbers that were here on the 4th of September are anything to go by, that's a stark reflection of the unemployment numbers that are actually out there. As you can remember, about thousands of youth from townships on the north of Pretoria actually assembled here in Rosslyn, trying to find employment, decrying the fact that there are certain policies that companies are using that are actually excluding them from getting hired. And they were also decrying the fact that these companies had committed themselves to CSI projects where they would actually support some of the vulnerable within communities, maybe with shelters and maybe shelters for abused women and the likes. Well, I'm actually joined now by the the media liaison officer for Reyaga Community Projects to elaborate on some of the commitments that these companies have backtracked on. I heard you mention, my brother, that these companies had committed themselves to helping the community, to employing locals, to actually using local companies as suppliers, and you feel that they haven't done that to your satisfaction. Please elaborate on that. I heard you mention about the automotive fund, if you can elaborate on that.
Yes, there's an actual fund that is automotive transformation fund that helps local business owners to develop and enter into the market so that they can trade also. And then the purpose of it is to take a company, fund it from a minimum of $1 million up until 50 million so that he can be well capacitated or established so that he can supply the automotive industry. But then you'll find out that there's companies from China, Yangfan, I'll give an example of it, that is supplying the market, whereas our own black people can't get into the market of supply chain. And also in terms of education, they have committed in the BBBEE to have give external bursaries to people who are less disadvantaged so that they can go to the university and come back with proper qualifications. And also they must build a skill center around Rosslyn so that people from the technicals, they can easily access it, do practicals there, and then obtain the trade test certificate.
And what is the current situation that in contrast to what you are saying?
So far, we are not seeing anything that is happening. You can go to the schools and maybe find out, they will tell you there's no learners who are receiving external bursaries from these companies. And also there's no transformation and development of the infrastructures in the communities.
Yes, and I know that there are certain projects PM was actually doing. There's a school they adopted in Soshanguve where they were trying to sort of have a skills transfer. Do you believe that it's not sufficient enough in terms of a company of the size of PM and the whole industry here in Rosslyn?
No, it's not sufficient, because when we talk about skills transfer, we seek to have skills that maybe they will empower or equip people to have engineering, and then the one that they have in Soshanguve, it's a public school. So we want the one that is privatized so that it can help other children to come in there, and then the families can send their children to get excessive education from there.
Absolutely. Well, as you can hear, that's Itumeleng Lebete, who's the media liaison for Reyaga Community Projects. I'll be joined now by the chairperson of the same organization, Vosi. Thank you so much for your time, my brother. A lot of unemployed people came here in numbers. You guys were literally their last hope, hoping that following your intervention, they might get absorbed into the labor sector. What do you put yourself in their shoes today when they are hearing all these frustrations? What do you think is going through their minds? Some were even saying that they used their last money to come to Rosslyn on the 4th of September, hoping that they would get a positive response.
Thanks very much. The reality is that more than 50% of young people in South Africa are unemployed. And as the leaders of Reyaga Community Project, will never rest We want to tell our young people today that will represent them very well and will make sure how can you employ foreign nationals while our young people are not working in your country. So we've done our research very well. As we speak, in Rosslyn, we have more than 3,000 foreigners that are working here in factories. So we are saying as Reyaga Community Project, those 3,000 foreigners must leave immediately and be replaced by our young people that are not working. As we speak, we have more than 30,000 CVs that were collected on that day. So we are saying in these all factories must take 3,000 CVs from those 30,000 CVs and those get jobs immediately. And failure to do that, we are not going to rest as the community. We'll make sure that out of this media statement, we'll register an agent march. Come next week, we'll be here. All residents of Tshwane, all residents of Gauteng will come back here because we feel like these factories, they don't respect us. We gave them 7 days. They request that, can we please give them 15 days at least. Today is a day 15. We didn't get any response. So we are saying if they don't respond today, we'll come in numbers. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, as you can hear, those are some of the assertions that have been made here on the ground after they've given the industry 15 days to respond to some of their demands. Among them being the insourcing of thousands of youth that actually marched here, decrying their unemployed status. We will definitely try and get a response, especially from those representing the industry, just to hear what can be done, to address this issue. And with that, it's back to you in studio, Ayanda.
All right, Ofentse Setimo, live to us there from the Rosslyn Industrial Corridor. That's in Pretoria. We'll certainly watch that story very closely. For now, thanks very much indeed.